So this is the iQOO Neo 6 and I think you guys would love the specs. Snapdragon 870, 64 megapixel OIS camera and 4700 mAh battery. And that's what roughly iQOO 7 had, and it was the best selling phone and even recommended by TechVisor in 2021. So is this iQOO Neo 6 that good in 2022? I'm most interested in performance. We'll find out. But before that, you get the phone, case, paperwork, 80-watt flash charger, Type A to Type C cable, Type C to 3.5mm jack, that means no headphone jack, flagship experience, and a budget SIM ejector tool. By the way, I checked, the phone doesn't support PD charging. Now we have this dark Nova color. It has this green gradient slowly going to black, and my favorite, Neo in 8-bit style font. Remember the 8-bit games like Mario, Pac-Man, anyone? Fun fact, 8-bit games are called 8-bit games because, well, you guys let me know in the comments. Let's see how wise Team TW is. We'll heart the right comment. Now you get a matte back with sort of texture. It's a plastic back and you hardly see any fingerprints. Now you get a 6.62-inch 120Hz AMOLED display. It's an E4 AMOLED display which consumes less energy. And see, here we are outdoors under bright sunlight, and as you can see on automatic brightness, the display is visible and it can go up to 1300 nits peak brightness, but that is only during HDR scenes and movies. You also get Scott Sensation glass protection. Now the phone is not exactly one-handed, but it weighs like around 190 grams. So it fits right between one-handed and heavy phones. You get in-display fingerprint scanner, which is fast like a normal in-display fingerprint scanner. Also, you get Wideview L1 and you can even play HDR videos on YouTube. And I like the colors, viewing angles of the phone. Of course, it's an AMOLED display and a good one. And you get dual stereo speakers. It's definitely loud. I really like the bass. And I felt like the separation between the top and the bottom speaker is really good. In fact, I would say it's like the best stereo speaker in this price range, and even the back panel doesn't vibrate. Now, this is the most interesting part. You get Snapdragon 870 LPDDR4X RAM, UFS 3.1 storage. The base variant will have 8GB RAM and 128GB storage. Now, in case you don't know, Snapdragon 870 was a really stable processor in 2021, and it was also a rebrand of Snapdragon 865. But you see here, in CPU throttling test, the phone scores like 79%. Now, this app checks the heat management of the phone, and 79% is a good score, and we ran it like 3 to 4 times, same result. Now again, I ran Antutu and you would see the score is not close to Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 like 10 lakh, but something like 7 lakh 36,000. But of course, benchmarks are benchmarks. We want to see real life gaming performance. So in BGMI, you can maximum play at HDR graphics and extreme frame rates, but we'll play at smooth graphics and extreme frame rates. Also, we have a FPS meter installed, so we can constantly check the FPS, and we'll play for 15 minutes. Time starts now, and the temperature right now is 35. Expired. So these days you have seen people die with this kind of animation. Hey, don't kill me, I'm explaining them. Are you guys getting these animations? So you can see now it's about to get 15 minutes, like 2, 1, 0. And mostly the FPS was around 59, 60 FPS, sometimes 58. And as you can see, the temperature is like 37 degrees. About 2 degrees higher since we started in just 15 minutes. Now the BGMI gameplay was pretty smooth, but we'll up the stakes a little bit and we'll play Genshin Impact at medium settings. But we are going to raise this one level and we will play at 60 FPS. It says overclocked. So whenever you are running here and there or just changing directions, roaming around, it's pretty fluid in 60 FPS. And by playing for 15 minutes of Genshin Impact, now the temperature is around 41 degrees. So the 90 FPS BGMI update may come soon on the iQOO Neo 6. Okay, so this year you get an upgraded 64 megapixel Samsung GW1 OIS sensor, and surprisingly, we both were surprised. The photos come out really natural. Like the colors were very close to what you see in real life. Like you see this red flower photo and see this light pink color flower. Like it looks exactly how it looked in real life. Even the human skin tone turned out to be good. We took Manu's photo outside, and if you zoom in, it's quite sharp, and the skin tone was pretty consistent or close to natural. Also, you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and we took some outdoor photo, and in good daylight condition the photos are sharp, but as soon as you move indoors or the light gets a bit down, the photos are a bit soft. Also, one really good improvement that I see is now when you switch to the front camera, it moves to the portrait mode, but now the blur is set to level 4. Previously it was like 0, so you used to not get any blur on the selfie photos. Also, you get a 16 megapixel front selfie camera that can record up to 1080p 30 fps, no 4K recording. However, even the selfies turned out to be like really natural, and even you can see in this video the skin tone is quite natural and even sharp. We took some selfies indoor in indoor lighting conditions, and those were a little bit soft, but outdoor in bright sunlight the selfies turned out to be really good. Also, you can record up to 4K 60 fps on the main sensor, but stabilization is disabled in 4K 60 fps. So you'll mostly have to record in 4K 30 fps, and the stabilization works really good in 4K 30 fps. We also checked the autofocus, like I'm closely focusing on the leaves and then on Manu. This is in 4K 30 fps, and the focusing speed was really fast. And of course, you get a 2 megapixel macro camera. So you get the latest FunTouch OS based on Android 12. Now FunTouch OS 12 has improved a lot on the animations, like see here. It doesn't skip any animation no matter how much times I do this. Also, you can convert any supporting app into a small floating window like this by drag and drop, and you can quickly resize and convert it small or just see photos and all while you're browsing on the web. So a nice little handy feature for a big screen. Also, there are a few bloatwares which can be easily uninstalled. In day-to-day usage, it's pretty smooth. But the thing is, you see, you go left, you have the Google News, you swipe down, you have the notification center. But that Android 12 colorful Material You theme is not well implemented. That's something I'll expect in the next few updates. Now, iQOO promises 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. And as far as I know, iQOO 7 from the last year has received an Android 12 update. Even the haptic motor is really good, and you get feedback when you type, but there's no feedback when you increase the volume, decrease the volume or the brightness. That thing can be improved. Also, now you get a larger 4700 mAh battery, and you get 80 watt flash charging. The battery can go like 100% in 30-35 minutes. You get all the important sensors and an IR blaster at the top. This one's quite useful if you want to turn off non-smart TVs or AC. Also, you get 4 5G bands, which is a bit less, but when will 5G arrive? Now it has solid 4G plus carrier aggregation. I checked it with my Jio SIM, and a lot of people ask about iQOO service centers. Well, iQOO can be shown in the same Vivo 650 plus service center all across India. Now the deal is, see, I get it. iQOO 7 was a really good success. You guys even loved it. So this is like an incremental upgrade with more 5G bands, a better main camera, a bigger battery, a faster charging, but plastic bag. So we are not aware of the pricing at this moment, but I would say if it even goes below 30,000, it makes more sense. So at that price, I would say just like iQOO 7, it's really good specs for the price that you get. Let us know if you want a full review or a best smartphone under 30,000 comparison. This is Pradeep signing off. See ya pretty soon. Peep, peep.